See that weed line coming all the way up.
Now how's that for some awesome conditions? Well worth the drive. This day I had intentionally left my spare gun at home. However, I also left my wetsuit and knife, unintentionally. Luckily for me, when I got to Whitianga and realised Floyd had a spare suit that I could use. The classic Dive Zone Whitianga Mares Rover 7mm suit. Optimal, the suit I first started spearfishing in. Going back and using second-rate equipment really makes you appreciate some of the products companies like Bochet are putting out onto the market. Really cutting edge in terms of wetsuits. I don't like the guns, however. In New Zealand's coastal waters, there are 3 species of rays that you are likely to encounter in the North Island. Eagle rays, short-tailed stingrays and long-tailed stingrays. Eagle rays and short-tailed stingrays are both fairly common. This is a long-tail ray. Not very common. I've only seen a handful of them in my life, so made sure to get some good footage of this one. In came a goatfish. I seen this one, pointed out to Floyd, he's taking a drop down now and is going to line up and try and get a shot on it. Here, unfortunately, miss. Goatfish are very tasty and fun to hunt, but are often overlooked by sparrows due to their smaller size. A good sized goatfish would be anything from 30 to 40 centimeters. Not very glorious to say the least. However, beautiful tasting. Goatfish are very curious by nature. To hunt them effectively, all you really need to do is get right down to the bottom, lay flat, and they'll come and say hi. This day, due to not having a spare gun, I was entirely focused on just enjoying myself and getting some good footage out of it. I was determined to get some footage of Floyd shooting a nice fish. We're swimming along here next to each other and I point out this John Dory. He sees it, takes aim, takes a shot and hits the fish well. Absolutely stoked for him. So happy to get this on film. Really chance encounter, but managed to make it happen and pulled it off. As Floyd's swimming up here, tension comes in the line. The flopper of the spare gun had opened up and caught on a rock. As opposed to pulling it and potentially damaging the shaft, he did the right thing, left it there and ascended.
How'd you even see that, G?
Shortly after, I am on my way down, back again to try and secure the fish this time. I take a grab, manage to get him off the rock and begin my ascent upwards with Floyd's John Dory. So happy with this one. I'd love to know how many Johnnies are out there and you just don't see. They have excellent camouflage and I only just managed to get my eye onto this one. Seeing your dive buddies land a fish is always an awesome experience. You're just stoked for them. Even more stoked often than if you had shot the fish yourself. We ended up doing quite a few buddy dives. Most of which I would get down to the bottom, point out a fish and Floyd would dive down and take a shot at it, as per this one. Floyd had it at quite an angle, so the spear made it into the sand, causing the flopper not to open properly. As Floyd tries pulling the spear up towards the surface, the goatfish slips off. Luckily I am down there to secure the fish and make sure it doesn't get away. When you're diving and you shoot a fish, do everything you can within reason to try and secure that fish on that dive. Minimize the chances of something coming in and getting it, the fish breaking off, or other potentially unforeseen scenarios. One of the best ways to improve your spearfishing is diving with other people. They don't necessarily have to be more skilled. You can learn things from anybody, regardless of their skill level, because everyone does things differently. Here I go down and point out another school of fish. Floyd lines up and takes a shot onto one. Unfortunately, however, it was a high shot. While it may have holded and been sweet, I was there, so I decided to take the initiative and make sure that we secured this fish as it swam towards me. Goatfish have soft flesh, so you need to be careful about where you shoot them. When you're not entirely focused on killing fish, you will often notice some things that you may not have otherwise. This cave leading through to a little bay was a perfect example. Something I may not have taken the time to go through and explore had I been more pressed trying to shoot fish. The suit wasn't a great fit. I had heaps of hair flying around and heaps of water inside the suit, so I need to take a little bit of time just to actually warm up. I have long hair, and I love having long hair, but it can be a real pain for diving. Definitely not optimal in that regard. I don't enjoy getting my hair tangled up or in front of my mask. However, it's the price you pay for having swag. Do you like eating kinna? I sure do. So I took some out of the bay to have a little bit of a feed. Not very fat ones, but they were nice, easily and accessible. So I had a crack, had a bit of kai, and then got back into the water. Upon my re-entry, I found this little porcupine fish hanging out in the kelp. He's probably thinking I can't see him. As I'm drifting away with the kelp, in the swell and maintaining eye contact, at this point he's like, nah, something's up, I think he's on to me. I'm going to get out of here, I'm pretty uncomfortable with the situation. I can use my little fins to flap, 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 get a little bit of momentum, and then use the swell direction to help me get out of here. But I'm not going to go far, I'm just going to tuck under this little bit of kelp here. This eagle ray was missing its tail and barb, so I decided to get some close footage while I could safely. Often in my videos I'm grabbing the tails of stingrays. It's not something that I recommend people do, however for the most part they're pretty harmless and benign. But it's not something I'd recommend to people because there is obviously a risk to it. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this slightly different episode. Next time we'll be back into the action and killing fish. This episode's sustainability message is you don't have to kill something every time you get out and on the water.